Good morning, class. Okay, today we're going to talk about long-distance cell communication. All right, so the first quiz question for you is, anatomically, what is that? We'll pause a second. All right, it's not like a tiny nose. It actually is what is in the middle of your brain, and that is the master gland, which is called the pituitary gland, right there. There's a stalk which goes from the brain, the hypothalamus, okay, and it connects to this pituitary gland. Okay? And the pituitary gland is responsible for producing a lot of hormones which turn other target cells on, or target glands on. Okay? So in this case, what we're going to talk about for this long distance cell communication, we got to communicate down here to these. Okay? Of course, you can guess what those are, but of course they are kidneys. Right? We got a pair of kidneys back here. Okay, they're kidney shaped, and then there's little tubes going from the kidneys to your bladder, ureters to the bladder. Okay, and then of course, okay, that's your bladder where you hold your urine. All right. So you have to control homeostasis of your water levels in your body. That's a key thing. Okay. So if you get too hydrated, you need to pee a lot, and if you get dehydrated, you want to conserve that. All right. So what controls that is the hypothalamus. It can read the osmotic balance in your blood. Okay. So that blood comes by in the hypothalamus here. I'll put an H there. Reads that. So hypothalamus, I'll put an H here. Okay. And it connects to this pituitary. I'll put a P for pituitary. And pituitary sends a lot of hormones out. It's called the master gland because of that reason. One of the hormones it sends out is one called ADH. Okay. Okay. So pituitary gland from the hypothalamus has got to tell the kidneys what to do. So it sends out this hormone which goes through the bloodstream. Okay. Hormone's a chemical messenger. It goes down there and it goes to the kidneys, right? Through the blood. And it has target glands there, target cells there, which then are controlled by that. Okay, so here's how it actually works. Okay, so here we got the kidney. This is actually called a nephron. Okay, in each kidney you have about 1 million of those. Okay? So blood comes in, okay, into this. It's called the afferent arteriole. Okay. There's just a whole gob of blood vessels inside there, okay, which creates a lot of pressure. Okay, and then blood will come out here. That's efferent arteriole. Okay, but as it does that, it squeezes out, okay, everything that's in the blood. Okay, so all the blood plasma goes out through there. Small ions go out through there. Of course, any toxins go out through there. Only thing that don't leave are big things like red blood cells. They stay in the blood. White blood cells stay in the blood. Okay, big proteins stay in the blood, but everything else gets filtered out. It's like if you get anything bad in your body, you want to get rid of it. Okay, so it gets filtered out, and then it enters into these tubules. Okay, and this is actually called the proximal tubule. Okay, then it goes through this long loop. Okay, like that. It's called the loop of Henle, and then it gets over here, and this is the distal tubule. Okay, but as you go down here, you'll notice 300, 600, then 1200. Okay, that's different concentrations. Okay, it's created going from low to high here. Okay, primarily here because we pump out a lot of sodium in this ascending tubule here, so it sets up this big gradient here. So this is low concentration here, and it's high down here. Okay, so as this filtrate comes through here, okay, a little bit of water gets drawn out, okay, but up here a lot of the salt gets out. So by the time you get to the top here, we have hypotonic urine, okay, so really watery urine. And now here's what happens. The ADH acts here, right? Okay, so as this urine comes down here, it's going down and it's going to empty into your bladder eventually. Okay, but okay, there's little ducts here, okay, which allow for the flow of water out. So all along here, water gets pulled out because it's going through this highly concentrated area. It's hypotonic, so it's going to leave. You guys know about that. Okay? So by the time you get down here, you have a more, they call it a hypertonic urine. Right? Okay, but what controls the size of these is this hormone, antidiuretic hormone. Okay? So if you have a lot of water in you, okay, and you want to get rid of water, okay, it closes these up. Okay? Okay? So then you're going to have more urine coming out, so you get rid of that excess water. Okay? But if you get dehydrated, okay, your brain reads that, okay, and then it secretes this antidiuretic hormone. And what that antidiuretic hormone goes, it travels through the bloodstream here, okay, and these open up, okay, and that causes the reabsorption of water. Okay. So by the time you get down here, you have a very, very concentrated urine. Okay. You conserve water in that way. All right. So that's just an example of long-distance cell communication. Okay. I went through a lot of detail here, okay, just because we're going to get to that later. Okay. And also just reinforce the hypotonic, hypertonic. Okay, but the key thing for this unit, cell communication, it's a good example of long distance cell communication and also this idea of negative feedback.